Hello, everyone. Welcome to One Team Global Live. Today is the first day of us doing these calls in the One Team Global Live Facebook group. So I'm just going to wait a couple minutes here, or not a couple minutes, just a minute. I just jumped on a minute early so we can get everybody on here and get the call started today. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I see that there's a couple people on, so that means people got it right and they know that we're here today. If you're watching in replay, maybe comment below when you are and let your team know that this is where the call's going to be. So it's going to be on One Team Global Live moving forward. So that we can just maneuver around a little bit and help people with their learnings and trainings and understandings. You could just do a little bit more in a group. So welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. My name is Kelley Beveridge from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I also love to consider myself a South African citizen because I do build my business globally and I live part-time in South Africa because of this business, because we're able to do what we want, when we want, with who we want, and live wherever we desire. Thankfully, because of social media and technology and the ability to work from our phones. And that's one of the things I love most about this business, is that we can do it from wherever we love. And so my name's Kelley, as I've shared. I've done a few of these calls before. Hello, everybody, as you're coming on. Hi, Cheryl Lee. I see John Oldman. Leah. Hello, everyone, as you're coming on. Welcome this morning. And so my topic today is going to be one of my favorite topics because I have a background in personal development and leadership development. And that was the career that I had before joining New Skin. I worked for a personal development company, which I absolutely loved. I found my passion there, yet it was more of a nonprofit. So I had to work 2 or 3 jobs just to do what I loved. And I helped people all day long get clear on what they wanted, why they wanted it, setting goals based on not circumstances, yet based on heart's desire and, changing and doing the internal work to grow as a person to achieve the success they desired. And I loved being in that environment. I loved surrounding myself with people who operated at that vibration and level and mindset. The problem was I was helping so many other people live their best lives, and I financially, was not doing that. And so I was looking for a vehicle that would allow me to live my passions, travel, work with people, goal set, and be able to financially take care of myself and my family at the same time. And I'd never heard of this idea of leveraged income before. And thankfully, my sponsor, followed me around for 2 years, introducing me to the business until I took a look and I said yes. And the rest is history. I now have a global lifestyle and a global business. And so today I want to talk to you about this idea of goal setting versus goal achievement. And there's a big distinction, You could be really great at setting goals. And, I like to relate it to think of New Year's, right? We're coming to the end of 2020. January 1st is coming around. People get really excited because they get to push reset and set goals for the new year, right? Yet the question is, are you somebody who's really great at gaining clarity around what you want and setting goals? And then the year goes by and you don't achieve what you set out, in the beginning of the year. So you're setting goals, yet you're not achieving them, right? So why do we set goals? It's because we want the things that we want. And so I want to talk today about 5 different points to consider so that you can move from being a really great goal setter to actually being a phenomenal, extraordinary goal achiever, right? Which is why we're here. And so I'm just going to get into it. Morning, everyone, as you're coming on. See people from all over that I know, all over the globe. Hi, Christina. Hi, Nakatula. So I'm going to talk about 5 things. So number 1, how to be a great goal achiever, okay? Number 1, most important is that you make a decision. Make a decision. I talk about this a lot on the calls I've did. The last call I did, I shared something called the commitment ladder, right? So making a decision means that when you wake up in the morning, you're not second guessing or questioning whether or not you want to do New Skin, right? You're waking up already having decided that absolutely this is the financial vehicle of choice and this is how you're going to achieve your goals in the life that you want. You've decided already and there's no second guessing. There's no in between. It's done, right? So my mentor, Charlie Patterson, so grateful for him. He says a decision means death to all options, right? So there's no other option. It's just whatever it is that you want in this business, whatever your goals are, you're going to achieve them no matter what. There is no other option. So that's what's called making a decision. You're here for the long game, right? It's about having vision, a little bit of delayed gratification, that no matter what your journey is, right? We all know the journey goes like this. No matter what your journey is, you're here to stay. So that's step number one, okay? So in goal achieving, you have to decide that you're going to get to where you want to go no matter what, okay? If you quit, you won't achieve the things that you desire. So number one, make a decision, period. That's it. You've drawn a line in the sand. You're here. It's happening, okay? I will, I must, I can. Number two, you want to attach an emotion to your decision. Now, for me personally, this really is for me the most important piece, because here's the truth. Do I want to do Nu Skin every single day? No, right? I woke up this morning and, my dog's sitting over there all curled up on the bed right now. It's cold, it's rainy out. And I was like, man, I could really sleep in today. I would really love to just stay in my pajamas and Netflix and chill, maybe go hang out with my boyfriend and have a coffee, right? Like, I don't always want to do the business. I mean, can anybody relate? I think you might be superhuman, right? If you wake up every day wanting to do the business. Now, do I love Nu Skin? Is this the vehicle that I want to be in? Of course, absolutely, right? Do I want to do the business every day? No, right? And so it's really important that you have an emotional connection to the things that you want. So on those days where you don't want to do it, you do it anyways, right? You do it anyways because you're emotionally connected to your goals. You have a really big why, and that's what drives you forward on those days you don't feel like, getting up and showing up and dressing up. And so how do you do that, right? Because it's one thing to say, hey, know what you want and then attach an emotion to it so that you're internally inspired, right? Your value around the business is high, because when you have a high value for building this business, you will get up and do it no matter what, even on the days you don't feel like it. So how do you do that? Because I really loved Derek and Nick's call where they talked a lot about, frequency and vibration and how to raise it and keep it high. And the higher the vibration, the more you attract what it is that you need, the solutions, the answers, the stamina, the mental capacity to do the things you need to do to get what you want. So here's some actual ways to do that. Now, I read a book by Hal Elrod. Some of you might have read this. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. It's called The Miracle Morning Mindset. And what Hal Elrod talks about in this book, Hal, H-A-L, Elrod, E-L-R-O-D, if you want to get the book, The Miracle Morning Mindset, is he says, hey, you know what? Like, everybody's goal really is to live an extraordinary life, right? And he says, well, how do you do that? Like, how do you live this extraordinary life? It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually do it and live it. And he said, well, you take a whole bunch of days, extraordinary days, and you have an extraordinary day, one after the other. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, how do you do that, right? How do you have an extraordinary day? And he says, it's all how you start your morning. Your morning will dictate the outcome of the day that you have. So how do you have an extraordinary morning? And this is what he shares. He says, it's all about the habit that you start your morning with, right? So my question for you is, when your alarm goes off, do you wake up and what do you do next, right? And so he has something called Savers, S-A-V-E-R-S. And I'm just going to share with you what they are, because it's a very valuable habit that supports you with your mindset, such that you have the faith, you have the belief, and you have the emotional connection to what you're doing and why you're doing it and where you're going by when. So Savers. So S stands for silence or meditation. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, he says, take an hour if you can. I know everybody's busy, has busy lifestyles. Some of you have kids, so you might be thinking an hour, that's crazy, right? Okay, 30 minutes. Maybe you start with 15 minutes. Whatever you can do, implement these habits. So S stands for meditation. So you can do guided meditation. Maybe you just sit in silence, yet it's really about waking up and calming down the mind. Because I don't know about you, I sometimes wake up and my one eyeball opens and already I'm thinking about about what do I have to do in the day, and I got to do that and this and that. And I have a little bit of anxiety brewing before my feet even hit the floor, right? I'm in a space of anxiousness, you know? And so that's how you're setting your day up. You're going to go through your day feeling anxious, right? Not feeling joyful, calm, grounded, certain, right? And so when you wake up, you want to be in this space of a grounded energy towards moving towards what you want. So meditation's a great way to do that. Just even 5 minutes of calming the mind, right? So that you have space available for you to create what you want in the day. The next one is A. So A stands for affirmations. We have a tool for you with New Skin, which I believe is an affirmation on steroids, right? It's called the definite main purpose statement. So do you have one, right? It's in the 90-day journal. You can go to OTG.global and go to downloads and go into one of the booklets. It's in there. Ask your sponsor or upline for a copy of it for them to help you create one and craft one. The definite main purpose statement is such a phenomenal tool to talk about your goals as if they're done, right? To talk about yourself as the quality of the have one, right? It's in the 90-day journal. You can go to OTG.global and go to downloads and go into one of the booklets. It's in there. Ask your sponsor or upline for a copy of it for them to help you create one and craft one. The definite main purpose statement is such a phenomenal tool to talk about your goals as if they're done, right? To talk about yourself as the quality of the person you want to become, to put out into the universe, you know, to tell God whatever your belief is, right? That it's happening and it's happened because you say so, where you say it out loud with such feeling, right? That you actually start to get emotional and you're like, wow, like this is my life. I am so grateful and blessed that this is the life I'm living. And when you act as if it's so, you pull the reality of your life towards you, right? And you walk around in that energy and vibration that, of course, this is my life. And of course it is happening because it is done, because I say so, right? So having affirmations to support your belief and stretch that muscle that you can have, do, and be anything you desire is really important, right? Because up until now, we have spent years creating limiting beliefs in our minds around what's possible for ourselves based on our circumstances and our past, who we are around, what we were taught, you know? And so we have to be the source. We've got to be the creator of undoing some of that and re-putting into our mindset what is actually possible based on our heart's desire. So the definite main purpose statement is amazing. And it just takes like a couple minutes to read it out loud, say it out loud, shout it out loud with feeling every single day, right? If you're having a down day, pull it out, right? Read it. So that's affirmations. V is visualization. Visualization. Now, visualization with feeling, right? So closing your eyes and actually seeing in pictures what it is that you desire, what's in your definite main purpose statement. Where do you want to be by when? So I have a goal to be a blue diamond by the end of this year, right? I want to have a global business in Europe and South Africa and North America. And there's a lot of reasons why I want that. So I close my eyes. I pretend I'm looking at a movie screen, right? And I'm looking at the perfect end result for what I want it to be. And for a couple minutes, I go into my own fantasy of living out and seeing and feeling my perfect life, exactly how I want it. I see myself walking across the stage, right? Being able to share my story in front of thousands of people on dream night. I see them giving me flowers and, you know, I see my team out in the audience and I see my uplines and my sidelines that I've been on this journey with. And I walk down the stage and they're giving me hugs and I'm crying and I'm just so proud of myself because I did it, right? And so visualizing with feeling such that literally if you're wanting to be on Punta Cana, you're literally sitting there and you feel hot because you feel the sun beating down on you. Maybe you start to sweat a little bit. You're like, wow, this is awesome, right? You could hear the waves, you know, splashing, or like you're waking up in your hotel room and you can smell the fresh air, right? So with feeling, visualization, yet with feeling, right? We call it feelingization, right? If you do that every day, could you imagine the energy you would bring to your day, right? So that's the V. So E, exercise. Exercise. You got to change up your physiology. You got to get those things going. Stress, right? So many people are under stress. That will help alleviate some stress. Get the creative side of your brain going. Exercise, 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 whatever it is, right? Do something that's going to make you sweat every single day and watch your results change. Are reading, right? Part of the core habits. What are you reading? Are you putting something into your brain every day to rewire the way you think, to rewire the way you react to certain things, how you can be proactive with your life? Reading is so important. Once again, you don't have to sit down and read a whole book. Sit down and read a page a day if that's all you can get in. Start with something, then work up to 5 pages, work up to a chapter, right? What are you reading? Leaders are readers. The last one is S, which is scribing, which means journaling. So taking pen to paper and just free flowing, right? We have so much clutter in our minds, so much nonsense sometimes. Just get it out. Allow yourself free flow, meaning just whatever comes out, trust yourself, right? Maybe you need to empty your cup some days and just get out that negative story you're telling yourself onto paper and you're like, there, it's out, right? Now your mind's open and free. Maybe you sit down and you journal and all of a sudden you come up with really great ideas for your business after you've done, your morning savers, and you surprise yourself, or you come up with new goals or things that you want to do, right? Just trust whatever comes out is meant to be. So those are the savers, SAVERS. And that's a way for you to start to attach an emotion, right? And a feeling to the things that you desire. And that's how you raise your vibration. That's how you raise your frequency. And that's how you create better results in your life, so that what you want isn't just something that you say, it's actually something you're living, right? You're breathing, you're thinking, you're feeling, okay? So that's number 2, attach an emotion. Number 3, this is going to be hard for some of you. It's about telling others. Okay, so number 1, make a decision. Number 2, attach an emotion. Number 3, tell others. Okay, the more you tell people where you're going and why and by when, the chances of it happening go up dramatically. One, when you have the courage to tell others, it means you really do believe that you are going to get your goal. It means you've actually decided. The reason why most people don't tell other people is because they actually haven't decided. They want a chicken exit just in case, right? So the more you tell others, it locks in your decision, right? Why else would you want to tell other people? Well, the more you tell people, the more you believe it yourself. I tell my team, and here's my recommendation to everybody, whenever you're doing a 3-way call, whenever you're doing an introduction, whenever you're sharing your story, whenever you are doing a presentation, whenever you're inviting somebody, whenever you're inviting, presenting, or following up, tell your story, yet in your story, make sure you include where are you going and by when and why. Include your goal every single time so that you're saying it every day, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Here's where I'm going. Here's the time I'm getting there by. This is by when. I'm going to be a blue diamond by the end of the year, and here's why. So that the more you say it, the more you believe it, right? You're the one who has to believe it the most. And how are beliefs created? By what we tell ourselves, right? So if you tell yourself your goal over and over again and you're speaking it out loud to other people over and over again, you will eventually believe it yourself in your core, right? Because sometimes we have these goals and we're like, I know it's possible, yet that like deep, solid belief isn't quite locked in yet, right? That's how you create the belief. Also, you tell people because when you tell people, guess what? Yes, your credibility is on the line, right? Your credibility is on the line. And a lot of reasons why sometimes we don't, and I'll speak for myself, I don't want to tell people, because if I tell people, that means I've got to do it, right? Now my credibility is on the line. People are watching me. I've told people what my goals are. I just told all of you, right? I'm going to be a blue diamond by the end of the year, right? So January 1st, if I'm doing a call, I want to be able to say, guess what? I did it, right? I did it because now I'm accountable. So when you tell people and your credibility is on the line, the accountability of self goes up, right? And the person we need to be accountable to the most is ourself, right? The question is, what are you doing when no one's watching? Well, when you tell other people what your goals are, the chances of you doing what you need to do behind closed doors, it goes up. It just goes up. And then you start to keep your word to yourself. And when you keep your word to yourself, your self-worth goes up. And when your self-worth goes up, your belief goes up. And when your belief goes up, your habits go up and your activity goes up and you get a better result, right? It's all connected. And so that's number 3, so tell other people. Number 4, control your environment. I've talked about this. This for me is massive. When I was in South Africa, I flew to South Africa to build a business, and South Africa went on a global lockdown. I flew in February. March, we went into a global lockdown, and I was in isolation. I was in a lockdown in an apartment by myself for 4.5 months. Now, most people say, wow, that's crazy. I feel so bad for you. I'm like, no way. That was the best thing that ever happened to me, because for the first time in my life, I truly learned what it meant to have a controlled environment. No distractions, right? So for you, what would that look like? Now, obviously, real life is happening. You're with friends. You're at home. Maybe you have to, schedule new skin. If you have kids, you have to schedule it where they're not coming in and out of the room. Maybe you have to set private time aside and have courageous conversations with people so you have support to be able to do that. Do you have an office at home? We have a home-based business. So is your office set up for you to win? Do you have your 90-day journal? How are you tracking? How are you keeping your schedule, right? Are you time blocking? When you look at your schedule, are your values in your schedule your highest values, right? Are 80% of what's reflected back to you in your schedule the things you want to be doing based on your goals, based on your values? So controlling your schedule. Controlling your environment. Who you listen to as well is a big piece of that. Okay, that's number 4. And lastly, number 5 is make a plan. So number 1, make a decision. Number 2, attach an emotion to it. Number 3, tell other people. Number 4, control your environment. And number 5, make a plan. Make a plan. Now in Nu Skin, how great is it that we basically give you the plan, and it's called the system, right? We give you the system. All of the top leaders got together and said, here's what we've been doing to be successful, and they've shared it with us. So if you plug in and you follow the system, that's your plan. The plan is given to you, right? The workflow, the event cycle, and the core habits. I did a call with my team yesterday, and we used that as a biomarker for what's working and what can improve. And I just said, you guys, if you're not getting the results you desire, relook at your plan, relook at your blueprint for success. Take out the system and look at what are you doing, what's working, and where are you not doing the activities, where are you not doing the core habits, where can you improve? Circle a few of them and focus on those for this month. Like, are you creating 2 ADRs a month? No? Okay, that might be something you want to change this month, right? Are you getting 3,000 in GSV by the 15th? No? Well, how do you focus on that? Are you not really getting presentations? Well, maybe you need to go and take a look at your inviting, and your intention and focus needs to be inviting this month, right? So take a look at the system and ask yourself, where is there a breakdown happening, right? So that you can course correct and start getting back on track with the plan. The plan is the system, right? You follow the system, you will get results. And then lastly, whatever your goals are, I always like to say, hey, if you have a year goal, right, break it down to what that looks like in the next 6 months. And then from 6 months to 3 months, from 3 months to 1 month, 1 month to a week to today, so that you can just focus on what's in front of you, knowing it all aligns to the bigger picture, right? So have a plan in place. So I hope that helps everybody. It's middle of the month. We have 2.5 months of this year, right? So regroup, refocus, look at the system, ask where you're maybe falling short, make some changes, circle a few of the things on that system of where you want to make some changes this month, right? Have a definite main purpose statement in place. Find time to do a savers routine. It might not be exactly that, something similar. Maybe you just start with 1. Maybe you start with reading, right? Or whatever it is that you desire. And literally just put your head down every day and make the choice to get up, show up, dress up, and just do it. Just do it. And on those days when you don't feel like it, because you have that emotional connection to why you're doing it, that will pull you through. That will pull you through. This is the best time. I've been in the business for 8 years. I've never seen a window of opportunity like this, ever. And so I love Nick Weinecker. Don't waste a bad economy, right? Get to action and be a goal achiever, not just a goal setter. So thanks for your time, everybody. I love the opportunity to be on these calls with you. And let's just have a great, phenomenal day. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.